And really, I mean, now that you're a part of the team, you see what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's content, it's marketing, it's daily activities, it's non-negotiables. There is no secret sauce.
Yeah.
Like. Hey, how's it going? Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of The Real Deal. This week we have another special guest, Wendy. Thank you for joining me today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. This is Wendy Alejandra Garcia with the RIO Group. I'm so excited to be here.
Love it, love it. Great name. I love that. That's Wendy Alejandra Garcia. That's awesome.
You can remember.
If I did my full name, it'd be too long. But thank you for coming, Wendy. So I know this is something that was unexpected when you first joined. I didn't, this wasn't part of the deal, but we had such a powerful meeting. That's why I've had Raquel, Marissa, and Catherine come in here to share a little bit about their experiences, and then also just kind of recap that meeting that we had a couple weeks ago, talking about why you joined real estate, talking about what are your goals. First, I like to have them start off with, why did you join my team? Why did you join the RIO Group? What are some of the key points that made you want to join the team?
Well, first of all, I love everything that you've done for yourself.
Thank you.
All the marketing that you've done. I enjoy watching every single video. And after having my son, my second kid, I was lacking accountability, motivation, structure. Everything changed for me. I moved into a new house, so every aspect of my day changed, and it couldn't be back to the same. So I started looking for a mentor, a coach. Then I found you.
Yeah, it just kind of worked out.
And I'm like, you know what? Why not? So then that's when I reached out to you. I mean, I've been following Raquel, Marissa, and they've been doing great things too. So I'm like, I want to be a part of that.
You've seen their growth.
And yeah.
So I didn't know that, obviously. So you and I, we worked well together before. Very similar stories as Raquel and Marissa, where, I would help you kind of unofficially because you were one of my showing agents, and you would help me with some of my clients. And then as a return, I would help you whenever you had questions about real estate. And that's how our business relationship started. But I think, like, for example, you telling me like, hey, I was struggling because, I just had my kid. Like, I didn't know that, right? So I would have, of course, reached out. I mean, I know you had a great year last year. You had a very productive year. But I do recall our conversation that we had. We were at a get-together with our mutual friend, and we just had a conversation. And then I remember that, like, something, your face lit up. You're like, man, like, this is actually something that I've been looking for. It was almost like the perfect opportunity for both of us. And of course, I was looking to expand and grow the team, and especially with somebody like yourself that we've already worked well together, and that was really cool that, it was just kind of meant to be, where you're like, real, I'm actually looking for this. And then when I actually got to hear from you, and I got to hear that story about, that you had your second child, which is your son, and obviously being now with two kids at home, neither of them are in school yet. I can see that being a struggle, right? I can see you needing that additional push, like, hey, have you sent those emails out? Hey, have you sent those mailers out? And we've obviously been working on a ton of stuff. Anybody that follows you on social media, they've seen already kind of where you've come along. But let's go ahead and back up. Let's find out before the team, right? So let's go to why you became a real estate agent in general, right? Because as realtors, obviously at one point there was a decision that was made. We don't just wake up one day and we're like, you know what, I'm going to become a realtor today, because who does, right? Like me growing up, that wasn't my thing. When I grew up, growing up, I wanted to be an architect, right? And then, but there are certain cues, there are certain things that I recall from my, throughout the years that made me want to become a realtor. So let's hear about that. Why did Wendy Alejandra Garcia become a realtor, just to begin with?
First, for the freedom.
Yeah.
But I thought there was going to be
You
freedom.
you thought wrong. Yeah.
But I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Like, I always wanted to be my own boss, do my own thing. And it comes from my dad. Yeah. He moved out here illegally, and he became his own boss. He did a landscaping business, and up to now, like, it's still successful and it's thriving. So I always wanted to have my own thing. I tried so many different things. I also wanted to go to school for architecture, but that just didn't work out. Life happens. And I did many different things as an entrepreneur. Nothing really stuck until I found this. I found real estate. Also, with you, I think when I started seeing that you became a real estate agent, I feel like the reason why I felt like I was going to be good at it is because we came, like, we were at the same, we were like at the same level at one time. So I just felt like you got super successful. You were like, I mean, you were growing a lot. And I'm like, why not me?
Why not
you know,
me?
we were at the same level at some point. I can also do that. I'm also very, hustler mentality. So I know that I can do this. And I started researching more, and got my license within 6 months and quit my job, and here I am.
The rest is history. So a little bit of background on that. So Wendy and I actually met years ago in college. We both were in school to be architects, and for one reason or another, I had no creative bone in my body. I couldn't come up with anything, but I was really good at taking stuff and like repurposing it, which is actually played a huge role in my marketing. But for me, it wasn't for me after all. For you had your reason why it didn't work out. But yeah, absolutely. Like, we were in college together. We met in college, and then throughout the years, we had a ton of mutual friends. And obviously, we just somehow always kind of stayed, around each other. And then that's cool. I remember you telling me that story when, because I remember we're just here chilling, not this office, we're at the old building, and then Wendy just randomly walks in. She's having a consultation or a meeting with AZ, the owner, founder of AZ and Associates. And then you're like, hey, I'm going to join your brokerage. I was like, what? I'm like, when did you get a license? And then you're like, well, I had been working on this for some time. And then, I saw your growth. I do remember you saying that, and that was really cool to hear that from somebody that I've known for so long that was able to acknowledge. And at the time, what year was this? What year did you join brokerage?
2019.
2019. So at the time, like, I was on the upswing. I hadn't produced the amount of business and grown to the level that I have these last 2 years. So you were kind of in a perfect mid-range.
Yeah, so 2018 is when I saw your growth.
Yeah. And I was licensed in 2016. So you saw that in 2 years, like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like, this guy. And really, I mean, now that you're a part of the team, you see what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's content, it's marketing, it's daily activities, it's non-negotiables. There is no secret sauce. Like, you now see, really, all it really takes is having some accountability, having the right tools, and having the right people around you to help you succeed. But I've basically opened my book wide up to you guys. That's that was my responsibility as a team lead to share with you guys the knowledge that I have, and now you can see there is no secret sauce. It literally is just hard work, a lot of hard work.
You got to do the work. It really
absolutely, man.
You got to trust the process.
That's why we're sponsored by AZ and Carlos Do the Work, because that's at the foundation of our core.
Yeah.
And that's extremely important. Like, absolutely. Like, even though I have my individual team, but still, we're at AZ and Associates. That is at the foundation of our core. That's kind of what helped me, and of course, that's what got me to the point where it got me to this accountability point where I hold myself accountable, and help me grow my business. So yeah, our core.
Can I go back to when I was following you on Instagram at the beginning of your
Yeah,
career?
for sure, of course.
You had like 100 followers.
Oh, man.
Your Instagram wasn't like the greatest, but then I saw the progression on it, and I know it was coming also from AZ's coaching.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, well, if he can do it, I can do it.
Man, I set the bar low, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. It was. I get what you mean, because I saw that. Like, I saw that in other agents. It's like, man, if this guy, not to make any less of this person, but it's like, I mean, I know this person. Like, if this guy can do it, like, why not me, right? Like, he seems like a normal, everyday guy. And obviously, not only did you just see me that way, because my story, not in that sense, but like, I remember coming in, talking to AZ, meeting Ruben Luna, which is the #1 agent at our company and brokerage. He's been in business for 15 years. I remember meeting him, and he was just like a normal guy. And I was like, man, this guy, you know, the top agent, I'm like, he seems like a cool, normal guy. And obviously I have a background, like, why not me? So totally get that. There's no offense taken there.
No, but I mean, I know what it takes to be an entrepreneur and to like have your own business. So
absolutely.
I knew that it wasn't going to be easy. I know everything that you, like every growth, like the growth that I've seen in you, I know that it's come from working your ass off.
Yes.
So I know that even for me, I knew it wasn't going to just be easy and handed out to me. So.
And you started off great. You had a really good year. You were Rookie of the Year 2019, right? Because that was your first.
2020.
Okay, because that was your first full year.
My first full year,
yeah. So Rookie of the Year, I mean, you had some success.
You passed on the baton as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I was unofficially Rookie of the Year. The agent that was Rookie of the Year, we won't talk about it. She's no longer at the brokerage, so I should have been Rookie of the Year that year. But yeah, absolutely. Like, that's a huge deal, right? So like, you had that drive, right? You had that, like you said, entrepreneurial mindset. Like, you're self-driven, and I do remember you've started other projects in the past. You ventured off, and you've been on your own in the past. But sometimes you just need some additional guidance, some additional support around you to get you to that next level. And I feel like that's where you're at. It's not like you're not a successful real estate agent. I would absolutely consider you a successful real estate agent, just like Raquel, just like Marissa, just like Catherine will be. But it's like, okay, what can I do now to take my business to the next level?
Exactly.
Right? So on that subject, right, what I would say, with the success that you've built over the last couple of years and with this upcoming year, right now, 5 years from now, right, 2027, like, what would be one of your long-term goals, or some of your long-term goals? What are some of the things that you would want to do that would be a win for you 5 years from now?
So I want to have my husband be a real estate agent.
Awesome.
Under your team.
Heck yeah. Anybody that comes from your line, they're welcome if they have that same drive.
Yeah, I want to continue to do this type of marketing and even evolve. I mean, with you, like, I'm not necessarily looking into venturing off on my own, but I do want to have maybe some help, some showing agents, some like an assistant, just something that's gonna help me grow my business even more. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm always gonna need your guidance. Because you're more experienced than I am, and the more time goes by, the more experienced you're gonna be, and I feel like you're always gonna be one step ahead of me. So why not learn from you?
I always try to be one step ahead of everybody. It's not just you, Wendy. But
I want to do that. I want to venture in maybe rental properties.
That's right. So on those things. So you mentioned that you wanted to purchase a property in Rocky Point too, right? Or what was it?
Quino.
Valle de Quino?
Yes.
Valle de Quino.
Valle Hermosillo in Mexico.
Yeah, beautiful. Because you go there on vacation quite a bit, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that one of your long-term goals. I know you mentioned that you wanted to have a property there, and then here you mentioned that in 5 years you would want to upgrade your home too, right?
Yes. So I would love to upgrade and maybe keep my current home as a rental.
Right. Because you have a new build, right? You just bought the house. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's not like it's going to be kind of, it's a brand new house. So for upgrade for you, what would be an upgrade?
A bigger home. My kids are going to get bigger. They're going to want a bigger space, maybe a bigger backyard, because I do have a pretty small backyard.
Yeah. Those new builds, man, that's how they get you. So newer home, bigger home, having a property, having some additional support underneath you. Like you said, maybe show an agent, maybe a full-time, assistant. And those are all
I'm trying to make it a family business.
Heck yeah. Yeah, and that's a great way to look at it. Your husband, I've met him. I've had the pleasure of meeting him a couple times, and he's an engineer, right?
Yes.
He's an engineer, so he's got a great career. So for him, it's going to be a harder transition from him going, that 9-to-5 type job to being self-employed and being a real estate agent. But having you by his side, of course, guiding him through that process, and of course having me as his mentor as well. I mean, he should be able to do good. So that's a really cool goal. I like that. And everybody so far, every single one of you guys have had similar goals. Every single one of you guys has had at least real estate somewhere in that realm. Oh, yeah. And we've talked about that. It's like, hey, what do we know? We know real estate. What do that's what we specialize in. And a lot of agents make the mistakes where they start getting success and they start trying to branch off and do this and do that. But at the end of the day, real estate should always be at the core of us. And the fact that, every one of you guys, including myself, wants to in 5 years from now, have some rental properties, have some cash flow producing properties, like that right there is a testament to what we also tell our clients, because it's like, hey, we're doing what we're helping you do. It's not like we're just preaching this and we're not doing it. It's like, hey, we practice what we preach. We're doing everything that we tell you guys to do. You bought a house in the busiest time of the market. I bought a house in the busiest time of the market. It's not like, I know Catherine bought a house at the busiest time of the market. So it's not like we're just saying these things and to clients and not doing them. We're living them.
Exactly. Yes.
So I love that. And I think we're all in line with that. I really think that as a team collectively, regardless of where we came from, regardless of our backgrounds, I think we're all on the same wavelength. I think we all mesh well together. You're the newest agent to the team. You've been with us for a little bit over 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah, but you guys, you mesh really well. So I look forward to seeing your continued success. And I know that this was unexpected, but you did great, I promise. I'll send you the clips that you can repurpose and put on your social media. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of The Real Deal.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Stay tuned for next week's episode. Take care.